I'm Russ. I live in Houston, Georgia, and I had a situation occur where all of a sudden my PSA started elevating just slightly. I was still in the normal range, and after a couple of times, my primary care doc said, "You need to get this checked out." And sure enough, it landed me at Georgia Urology with Dr. Sharpe. So how I found Dr. Sharpe and his team was not your traditional referral, because I went straight from results to I knew I needed to get to a urologist. And so I did my homework. Having worked in healthcare for 30 years, I knew where to look, how to look. Went out there and checked several of the websites that talks about outcomes, and knowing that this might eventually end up into an area of such things as surgery, I did a lot of checking around. Obviously, I have a network of friends, and I was able to find a doctor that not only was very aggressive in treating this type of cancer, but also uses the latest technology. And that's one of the things I wanted to make sure. Matter of fact, Dr. Sharpe has some of the highest numbers of robotic surgery in this region, which I think is most important for me, is making sure they're using current technology along with current medical therapy. To the credit of Georgia Urology, I was actually down in Florida. I called them here and they had me in 2 days. I zipped back up to Georgia here to our home, and they had me in, and we went through some series of pretty quick testing. I showed them the results of all my previous PSAs, and they were pretty confident at that point that there was a pretty significant issue. Matter of fact, we even bypassed some of the radiology and went straight to a biopsy, and sure enough, I had cancer. Well, I still remember the statement that Dr. Sharpe made on that first day that I saw him. He said, "You know, we're all going to die of something. My job is to make sure it's not a prostate cancer." And when you have somebody that had that kind of confidence, but at the exact same time, a humble attitude towards treating it, it gives you a degree of confidence and belief that I'm on the right course and I've got the right people taking care of me. I personally have been working in healthcare for almost 30 years and have a pretty strong network of people around the globe, and in particular in the United States. And everybody wanted me to come there to get my cancer care. And I said, no, I believe I'm actually in really good hands here. In a pretty short fashion, we went from biopsy, and obviously some concerns there that the cancer was significant enough that we were going to have a radical prostatectomy, which obviously, as you start doing some search on Google and YouTube videos, you realize this is a pretty significant procedure. And so we went through that. We partnered obviously with Northeast Georgia Health System here in North Georgia, and got scheduled for a robotic surgery. And all went well. And so after a short stay in the hospital, less than a day in the hospital, I was able to convalesce and heal, and I'm doing great today. It takes an entire team to get the care that you need, whether that was the nurse practitioner and physician assistant. I believe her name was Sheldon, and several others in the staff. They've all been wonderful. They're easy to get a hold of. And they've answered every one of my questions, and even some of the post therapies that I've needed to go through for some of the complications with the surgery. They've always been available and always been very professional. They've got me in based on my schedule, and really been a great group to work with, and really caring individuals. I think all men should be getting on a truly preventive screening process to make sure they're getting screened, in particular PSA. And making sure you're getting that test for prostate cancer. In my case, it was still in the normal range, but it was elevating, and it really caused us to get involved with that. But then eventually you may end up as a result with prostate cancer. Matter of fact, it's one of the highest prevalent items of cancer in all of really society, and particularly men. And so I don't think it's anything we should be afraid of, especially if you're consistently getting your tests done. You catch it early. It is a significant surgery, and you should take that seriously. One of the things you do need to do is make sure you're in as good a shape as you can possibly be in, so when you come out of that process, obviously there's less burdensome on your body and being able to heal appropriately. But I wouldn't be afraid of this. Matter of fact, I don't think I ever had fear in any of this along the way. I had great confidence. But most importantly, do your homework and make sure you're always taking care of yourself prior to any situation like this, but then making sure you take care of yourself afterwards. I started going to a pretty quick recovery process. Georgia Urology got me connected with a physical therapy office who went through some pretty specific therapy related to this type of surgery. Matter of fact, just finished recently my last appointment with that. And so I'm feeling really good. I'm back to golfing. I'm back to walking and working out. I need to get my game back together. As I've gotten my body back together post-surgery, now getting my game back together, but I'm not too worried about that.